Snow was a super type that came on the scene with the appropriately named Ice Age set. It's appeared then in Alliances, Cold Snap, Modern Horizons, Secret Lair, and now Kaldheim brings the cold again. Snow mana needs snow mana sources, and on paper, snow-covered basics are better than regular basics if you have the right payoffs. You can get in on some of the unexpected tech if you're not afraid to get a little frosty. Snow abilities were held back in Commander mostly due to scarcity, but with Modern Horizons and now Kaldheim, getting enough snow lands to run some cool tech has never been easier. In general, you'll run all snow basics and one or two cards that actually care about the snow type, but the power bump from using snow is worth switching all the basics over. In Kaldheim, we're getting a full cycle of snow dual lands. They enter tapped, but they have basic land types, so you can fetch them. The part that surprised me is that they're common, and they may be better than they lead on. If you're the type to play gates, lifelands, temples, the snow utility from them will be worth a second look. At the very least, they're fetchable duels that will be incredibly budget and accessible for most players. White gets a potent removal spell in On Thin Ice. It lets you enchant a snow land you control and exiles a creature until On Thin Ice leaves the battlefield. It's basically an undercosted Banishing Light if you're playing snow basics. Unlike Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares, your opponents don't get jack if you put the creature on Thin Ice. In blue, Blizzard Strix lets you exile another permanent until the next end step if you have another snow permanent. It's 4 and a blue for a 3/2 snowbird with flash and flying. Not only can you use this to surprise block, but you can also get rid of a problematic permanent your opponent may have. It even works with your own permanents, letting you score another enter the battlefield trigger, dodge removal, or reload the loyalty on a planeswalker. If you're using Blizzard Strix on your own cards, be sure to flash it in before the end step, or else it will be gone until the next end step begins. Dead of Winter gives you an extremely powerful creature wipe for a low cost. Mono black decks already play cards like Defile and Mutilate, which give -1/-1 for each swamp you control. Dead of Winter is even cheaper than Mutilate and effectively gives -1/-1 for each snow permanent you control to all non-snow creatures. The advantage this has over Mutilate is that it will count your snow lands, which can be in any of your colors. Dead of Winter can be run in most decks that play more than a few basics, as long as there's snow. Red gets to use a modern favorite in Spread. Like on Thin Ice, it's super cheap creature removal if you play enough snow lands. Not much to say, it's simple, cheap, and effective. The file for green snow isn't too big. Mono green doesn't really need any help when it comes to playing lands, which snow tech really wants to do. The green snow cards are often outclassed by other cards anyway. Into the North is too similar to Farseek and is usually worse than Nature's Lore, and Rime Tender or the new Sculpture of Winter are almost always worse than Voyaging Satyr. If you're in green, you get way better payoffs for playing lands in general than you would for playing a lot of snow. Alright, I got the best snow card saved for last, the colorless artifact Sunstone. It lets you pay 2 and sacrifice a snow land to prevent all combat damage this turn. Sacrificing a land is a steep cost, but this is basically constant misses for any color. Some decks just can't beat a repeatable fog, and if you're holding back your opponents from the win, the land sacrifice is a pretty good deal. It's more fragile than constant mists because it's an artifact that has to stay on the field, but that's more than a fair trade for this effect for decks not playing green. If you find yourself dying to swarms of tokens, Sunstone might be the trick you need to get ahead. That's all I have on Snow. I've been the detective, investigating the decks the other Planeswalkers don't play or won't. Let me know in the comments if you think these cards are worth swapping out all the basics for snow basics. If you want to help me out, leave a like, hit that bell, and subscribe to Thraben Detective Agency for more spoiler stakeouts, deck dossiers, and case files. You can also find me on Twitter at MTG Detective. Alright, now that the first episode of Case Files is out, I want to give a little rundown of what I plan to do with this channel. Deck dossiers, or like deck techs, I want to showcase some unusual commanders, unusual strategies that I like to play in Commander. I got a mono blue lands deck featuring Kefnet, one of my favorites, I really want to show that off. Spoiler stakeouts are going to be videos talking about recent spoiled cards, obviously. If they're commanders, what cards go into them. If they're not commanders, what commanders want them. And then these videos, case files, are going to talk about strategies, maybe go a little more in depth. I feel like a lot of YouTubers in the Magic community don't talk about strategy, talk a lot about deck building. And I think that how you play your deck is almost more important than what's in your deck. So I want to try to get like two videos out a week seems okay. Any more, I might want to run my head through a brick wall. But we'll see.